Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
Remember what I mentioned about Torque when he attacked me and we were giving that demonstration to the German police? Sometimes I get nightmares of that. That Torque's attacking me. I mean, I'm not scared of dogs. It's just that when he twisted me, then that's when I woke up. One time I fell off my bed with one of those nightmares and I broke my shoulder. I had to get operated. Recently, for the past, so many years, I've been sleeping on my recliners. See, I got my living room has a total of 4 recliners, and the one that I'm sitting in now is number 5. My current dog, Little Pistol, and I are used to sleeping on the recliners now. We haven't slept on the bed for years after that accident, because when they fixed my arm, they had to give me morphine, and morphine wasn't really working. That hurt, and it kept on hurting for days. Didn't turn out to be any opioid problem for me, but PTSD is real. People just don't understand. PTSD, if you have flashbacks, you get nightmares, your doctor has to find a nice combination of pharmaceuticals, so at the beginning it takes a long time to see if one thing works or another thing works. It's difficult. It's difficult to deal with this. You have so many military personnel that sometimes they just can't hack the life back into society. They still have these nightmares of the explosions, the bombings. The worst part is seeing a friend of yours. His leg is in one side, his head's in another side. I mean, and his torso is completely torn apart. These things are so difficult to deal with, and we have so many soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, even Coast Guard. You know, it's real. It's just happening like a broken bone if you get the flu or whatever. This PTSD is real, and some people can't understand it. And there are many, many, many people from the military that do need the help. And suicide hotlines are available just in case. So, we need the country to understand that we put our lives on the line, and some people just don't understand that when we say we solemnly swear to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States, I think there's around over 300 million people living in America. And I don't know what percent has the PTSD. People don't understand really what the Constitution really means. You get up right now, go to the car, go to a place, get a pizza, carry out, bring it home. You do that, you take it for granted. But so many freedoms of choice, freedom of the press, freedom for arms, there's so many freedoms that are in our Constitution. We say we go out, we protect it, but people should start really feeling it. That to be in America, we travel around the world in the military, but there is no way, no country better than the United States of America. And I bet my life on it.
I think we're done now.
You got some better questions in there this time.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's somebody else who went through what I went through, but it's possibly that my ops, the one that, well, not my ops, our ops.
I'm going to record it. Are you talking to your mind? Or?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. I don't want you to say something and I was like, I should have recorded that. Go ahead.
No, it's that we've been through so many ops. I mentioned maybe about the weapon storage area, that freaky mistake about the pilots flying too close to the trees, or if not the bombs with Duke over in Milton. I mean, there's so many different ops that we go through. And I don't consider myself a hero. It was just my job. My job was to get all the military guys, stop getting stupid and using drugs, get your butt on the hand and do something, to help us out. If you're having a problem, go straight to your supervisor or go up the chain of command. I mean, there are so many different ops, and I can't remember all of them unless I go through my paperwork. And I save my paperwork all the way from my high school diploma. And every piece of paper that I have, like Department of Defense thanking me for the Milton bomb deal. There was one operation. We work with NASA. I'm stationed at Fort Walton Beach. The launch pad that I never knew existed was in Mississippi. We had to do an explosive search twice in that week. NASA paid for it. We were called to go from Eglin Air Force Base and drive all the way down to Fort Lauderdale. That's when Vice President George Bush was promoting politics for him, for him and Ronald Reagan to continue in the presidency, etc. Dick Cheney was our Secretary of Defense at the time. Secret Service, we work with Secret Service, something that you don't really see, because if you see us in a uniform and you have a dog, well, people already know. But if you're walking in your civilian clothes and you have your dogs, you're just a guy with a dog. But we're on a mission, we're doing work, but without letting other people know that we're doing the work. So that's kind of like behind the scenes. And there are a lot of missions. I just can't remember all of them.
Talk to us about like the current climate here, as far as how do you feel that our country reacts towards people in the military? Like, how do you feel as far as like, do you think people take veterans for granted?
Granted, I don't know it would be for granted, but I do tell you this. If you go to some stores to do some shopping, we are awarded a 10% discount for being veterans or being part of active duty. Whenever you go anywhere and someone knows that you served in any of the branches, that phrase, "thank you for your service," that makes you feel warm inside. People do understand and very patriotic. Everybody wants to get involved in helping us out. One of the problems that we still do have and might have tomorrow is homeless vets. There are many different agencies and charitable organizations that do help. I mean, a homeless vet, all he needs is a shave, nice shower, place to rest, try to get back into civilian life, and many people, right after the thank you for your service, they come up and help you. And if you've seen in the news, there's other organizations where are building homes for our disabled vets. And disabled could be physical, or it could be mental, or it could be emotional. And it is so wonderful that you have a home for you, your wife, and your children where you didn't have the opportunity to be able to get a home. And you don't have a mortgage. And we're getting a lot of thanks and a lot of help from America. Taking us for granted? Nah. People really appreciate living in this country. And I'm glad that I was part of it to make not only people of my age or younger age, but our kids look and they act. And whenever you have an airman, a soldier, sailor, etc., suddenly appearing at a basketball game and your daughter or your son sees you and you see those eyes immediately water while they're running up to their parents that they came from overseas just to visit by the time being, that hug and all those tears are not only from both of them, the parent or the child, people all around you, that they're witnessing these things, those tears come too. And believe me, crying is not a bad idea. You feel better after you finish with the tears. But you will really appreciate the moment that your parents arrive from their service. Maybe they're on leave and they're ready to go to a mission in the future, but you really see how beautiful it is when people really see you in uniform, or they find out that you were and you are a veteran. And disabled veterans, a lot of people help us out too. Sometimes they want to help us a little bit too much. But I say it and everybody else say it. We're not heroes. We're just there doing a job, and we did our job, and we're very proud of what we did. This time we had it more tranquil. You gave me time to rehearse. And you stayed here all this time! Why should I teach you how to sit and go down? Yeah, I'm gonna do it like the last time. Let me go take this shirt off because it's hot.
I was gonna say, you know,
It's hot.
you see that now.
There we go. How's the sound now?
Well, that's,
You want that?
well, the sound is on here, because I'm recording the sound and I'm gonna sync it together,
Oh, okay.
you know, because this is what was connected to the microphone. This is where I was recording the audio, just so that I can sync it up when I'm editing it.
I use Power Director for my movies and stuff. Well, at least that black towel came in.
Yeah.
Wow, I sweat like crazy in that thing. Look at that. It's dark.
Yeah.
Pistol, you okay? Oh man, working with drugs is fun. I never, not once, not once I had a human being be my partner, other than my supervisor.
Your face lights up and you talk about working with the ball. This here is that's a picture of Tigger there.
That is a picture of Tigger.
I want to take it. When you talk
There
about
she is.
Tigger.
Oh, this is the one. This one's Tigger.
Okay.
And this one's Tigger.
This is the one. Which one did you scan?
Well, the one for drugs is these right here, and this is for you to take with you. You got all the information you need about what I did and what they did to me and everything else. This one and this one are together.
Okay.
Okay, Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So you did a documentary, and I always say before I do a documentary, I want evidence.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to be filming somebody, and it's all going to be a bunch of, what's the name I'm looking for? You're going to have somebody talking, you're going to do a documentary, but you don't have evidence that this really happened, and then your documentary is going to be questioned. So this is for you to do it, plus the CD Form 214, that's for you too. Because I made copies.
But like these.
I needed to read all those. I didn't know I had a bronze star on one of the ribbons.
These newspapers, I'll give them back.
No, you don't have to get them back. Keep them. Keep them for your portfolio.
Sure.
You better have a portfolio. See, here is On my screen.